Hey everybody! Welcome to the Learning Sunday, where every Sunday we learn something together. I asked you on Twitter what you wanted to learn, and you guys said basic driver's training. Now, every state has their own tiny little laws that change, so I'm gonna try to keep this as generic but educational as possible so people all around the world can learn. Okay? Let's begin. Rule number 1, don't hit anybody or anything. If you didn't know that, I don't think you're ready to drive a car yet. Basics of a car. You need to know how to operate it in order to drive it. There's a gas pedal that makes the car go. The more you push it in, the faster you go. The less you push it, the slower. And when the car is in drive and you don't press the gas or the brake, the car will slightly just move on its own. So when the car is in drive and you don't want to go anywhere, you press the brake pedal. The brake pedal makes your car stop. The faster and harder you press it, the faster and harder you stop. So you want to make sure when you're driving, you have enough room in between you and the car in front of you or the thing in front of you. You have to gauge when you should slowly start pressing on the brake because you don't want to make everyone in the car go "Vroom." The only time you should ever slam on your brakes is if you're about to crash. There's also the steering wheel. This moves your car. Move it right, the car moves right. Move it left, the car moves left. Now, the gear shifter thing. I drive an automatic, meaning I don't shift the gears. I don't go from first to second to third to fourth to fifth. My shifter just goes park, reverse, drive, neutral. A manual car will do the shifting things, and then that car requires a clutch. Now, I know the basics of how to drive that, but I'm not very good at it, so we're just gonna stick to an automatic. So, when it's in P, that's park, your car will not move. You can press on the gas as hard as you want, your engine will just rev. When it's in drive and you press on the gas, your car will go forward. When you put it in reverse and press on the gas, your car will go in reverse. In neutral, your car won't go anywhere unless it's on a hill. So when you're in neutral, the car is just a free-for-all. So if you're on a hill, your car's gonna go down. But you're on a flat ground, you're neutral, you're not gonna go anywhere. There's a handbrake, usually in the middle between the driver's and the passenger seat. It's different on every car. Every car is different. So before you drive a car, make sure you know where everything is. The handbrake is like a super brake. You pull that, the car won't go anywhere. People with a manual car use this as their park because a manual car with the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 shift, that is their park basically. So they put their car in neutral and then they pull up the handbrake. When you're parked on a hill, no matter what car you have, you should always pull that brake as an extra safety precaution so your car doesn't slide down the hill. It's a good thing to use that, never a bad thing. Make sure you don't drive with it on because you can drive with it on, but it'll ruin your brakes. Make sure you know where the hazards lights on your car. Where's that button? Find that button because if you break down or something goes wrong with your car, you need to put those lights on to let people around you know, hey, my car's not working. You might want to get away from me. Now, use signal when you're changing lanes or you're turning onto a new street or a new lane of some sort. You use a blinker. You go left, you put the blinker onto the left. You're going right, you put the blinker onto the right. If you're taking your test to get your permit or your license, they usually make you do the hand signals. Since in America we're positioned on the left side of the car when we're driving, our hand signals are this. You put your arm straight out if you want to go left. You put your arm like this if you're signaling that you're going right. This is for if your blinkers are out. Oh, bikers use it. So that's a biker's way of showing you which way they're turning, so beware. When the sun is about to set and when it's completely dark and when it's about to rise, you put on your headlights. Your headlights are the things in front of your car that make it so you can see in front of you. Usually when your headlights are on, there's a little green symbol that shows you your headlights are on. When you turn your brights on, this makes your lights extra bright. It'll usually be a blue signal to show you that your brights are on. People usually only use this when there's no one else on the road and it's super pitch black. But if you see another car coming towards you, turn your brights off and just keep your headlights on because you will blind them and they will crash. Make sure every time you get in your car, you put your seatbelt on. Everyone else in your car has their seatbelt on because if you get pulled over and they don't have a seatbelt on, you get ticketed if you're the driver. Sucks! But you're in charge of the vehicle, which means you're in charge of everyone's safety. So everyone buckle up. All right. When you're backing up, always check over your shoulder, check your mirrors, check your rear view camera if you have one, but just make sure you're aware of your surroundings when you're backing up. If there's not a little kid that's running behind you that you can't see. So before you get in the car, before you back up, make sure you know what's going down in case any surprises happen. Now, when you're changing lanes, remember smog. I'll write it down for you. Signal, check your mirrors, look over your shoulder, then go! So this is when you're changing lanes. You signal, you check your mirrors. There you should have 3 mirrors. That side, up here, and over there. Look over your shoulder to make sure you're not gonna hit anybody, depending on which way you're going, and then go. If you just rely on your mirrors, you'll hit people in your blind spot. I've seen this happen. I've been in a car when it's happened. I wasn't driving. Know where your blind spot is, be aware of it, and respect it. All right, so you're driving down the road. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Make sure you are 3 seconds away from the car in front of you. How do you know if you're 3 seconds? I'll tell you. Landmarks. See a tree. They passed it. 1, 2, 3. I passed it. That's how you know. How long after they passed it did it take you to pass it? There you go. So make sure you're about 3 seconds away. Don't freaking ride people's butts, because if they slam on their brakes, you have no space to slam on yours. You're just gonna end up hitting them, and then it's your fault. But always takes the blame. So make sure that you always have space. If you see someone about to cut in, slow down. Don't speed up to try and stop them from coming in. You gotta slow down and let them in, or else you could be at fault for an accident. Now, when you stop, you should make sure that you can see the bottom of the tires of the person in front of you. So like everyone's at a stoplight and you're like, beep, 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 coming up to a stoplight, and slowly and stop. Make sure you can kind of see the bottom of the person's tires in front of you. That's how much space you're supposed to have in between. All right, so that's basically like kind of the rules. Now, these are the things I see on the street that people I don't think know very much, and it bugs me. So I'm gonna let you guys know. In America, here are our stoplights. This one will always be red. The top is always red. Red is on the top, and it means stop. You see the red light, you stop. Bottom light is green. This means go. You're clear. You have the right of way. But even if you have a green light and you're going through an intersection, beware of the cross streets, because even though they've got a red light, sometimes people don't see it. So even if you have a green light, be aware. The middle light, it's supposed to be yellow, but I don't have yellow, I have orange, so you're gonna deal with it. Yellow's in the middle. Light in the middle means it was just green and it's about to turn red. So if it's yellow, gauging on where you are in the street, is it safer to speed up or slow down? You're not supposed to gun through them, but there's sometimes when you're in a position where if you slow down, the person behind you is gonna smack you in the butt, or you're gonna burn a lot of rubber by screeching on your brakes. Slowing down is usually a good thing to do, because a lot of times there are people turning left and an unprotected green, which means they have the right of way, but they have to yield to the flow of traffic. It's red for these people. These people are stopped, but it's green for these people. So let's say I'm a car, and I'm like, whatever, I'm a car. I have a weird shaped car, and I'm going this way. Okay, this car is waiting in the middle of the intersection. They want to turn like this. Are we seeing this? If they don't have a green arrow, that means that it's green for both directions, and they have to yield to me going through this way, okay? Why I'm telling you this is because if I'm back here and this light turns yellow and I'm at that point where I'm like, do I gun it or do I slam on my brakes because I'm in this in-between point, and I see a car who has an unprotected green, which is now at this point yellow, trying to turn left, I should stop because this person needs to turn. Most people do the turn on an unprotected green once the light turns yellow. If you're in the decision of do I gun it or slam on the brakes and you see a car sitting waiting in the middle of the intersection to turn left, you should probably slam on your brakes to let them go. Now, if you're ever at a stoplight and you see that the red is flashing, that means treat it as a stop sign. I feel like a lot of people don't realize this. They see a blinking red light and they have no idea what to do. You treat it as a stop sign. The rules for a stop sign. Stop signs look like this. It's an octagon. Yeah, I threw some geometry at you. Stop, I said stop. Stop. All right, if you come to a stop sign, come to a complete stop, count to 3, 1, 2, 3, and then you proceed if the route is clear. If there are pedestrians, side note, pedestrians always have the right of way. Do not hit a pedestrian. Serious note, if you accidentally do hit someone, stop. Do not do a hit and run. Do not drive away. If you hit a person, you stopping could save their lives because you could help them. Call 911, whatever it is. Don't hit and run. I know it's scary. You created a situation that's terrible. The least you could do is help. Now, if you and another car proceed to a stop sign at the exact same time, the person on the right goes first. Now, just because that's the rule doesn't mean that's what will always happen. This person might just take off anyway. So even if you have the right of way, proceed with caution. Also, hand gestures are much appreciated for every driver. Little, oh, thank you, or you can go. If 4 cars all at the exact same time, my God, I'm having fun filming this video. So if all the cars come at the exact same time, or when it's just a congested area and cars are going blah, 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 blah. Okay, so if there's a bunch of cars, everyone gets a turn. So at this point, it's the hand movements that start everything. You have to decide, are you gonna be the douchebag that guns it, or are you gonna be the nice person that goes, oh, go ahead. And then once one person goes, that starts the trail for everyone else. So we've decided purple car's going first. So they go first. Then this person will go second, then third, then fourth, then fifth, then sixth, then seventh, and eighth. That's a weird eight. See how that works? So it kind of goes in a spiral. And sometimes if this person's just going straight, this person can also go straight at the same time. But you see how it generally goes? It goes in a cycle. You just have to decide the first person who's going at the stop sign, and then everyone else follows. Does that make sense? Because sometimes I get to stop signs, and I'm like, great, I'm the first person to approach. And then someone else just whizzes through, and then someone else comes up, and they're like, well, you didn't go. Boosh, and then the whole thing turns into a mess. Everyone, you'll get a turn, you just have to wait. And just because I go doesn't mean 5 gets to go with me. It's not like a green light. 5 has to come and wait and sit and wait for the cycle to come around to them. Other side notes just for life. Never stop on a railroad track. Don't drink and drive. Don't text and drive. Do not be intoxicated, whether that's drugs or alcohol. If you see someone who's intoxicated getting behind a wheel, stop them, tackle them. They'll hate you in that moment, but they'll love you tomorrow. Other things, when you are getting over, switching lanes, or you have to get off the freeway, give yourself plenty of time to do that. Don't wait till the last minute or else you're the douchebag on the road. You guys, there are so much to driving, so much, but a lot of it is follow your instincts, don't hit things, don't speed. The speed limits are there for a reason. 5 miles per hour over, all right. Merging is kind of something you have to learn when you're in the car. Make sure that whenever you're looking over your shoulder, your hand isn't following you as well. That happens a lot. Make sure you don't pull the steering wheel while you're looking over your shoulder, checking the lanes out. There's so much other stuff that goes into driving a car, but that's all there is today. This was just the basics of the basics. Remember, every state, every country has different rules. Make sure you kind of know the rules going into it. Oh, one thing I should say. If you see sirens, hear sirens, figure out where they're coming from and get out of the way. Pulling to the right is always the best. Sometimes you're in the far left lane and you're stuck. Just don't move. Always let police, firemen, and ambulances go. They own the road at that moment because they're going to help someone. They're going to save a life. Let them go. Again, tweet me, DM me, comment below other questions you have. That's it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope I helped you at all. This is just the basics. Driving a car is pretty easy. You get used to it. Scary at first. You're driving this massive thing that could kill human beings, but you'll learn not to kill them, hopefully. I love you guys. Thank you so much. Like this video if you liked it. Subscribe to see videos every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. Every Sunday we learn something together, or we just go over stuff you already know. It's sometimes good to refresh your memory. So remember guys, above all else, stay awesome, possums.